story as far as what you actually do in the game. And yeah, so the game is played in real time. So it takes 3 hours, and you have to stay in your seat. The controls are hold down all the letters in the word airplane. You can't let go, or you lose. There may be a surprise ending when you win or when you lose.
Do you crash horrifically into the ground?
Possibly. Maybe.
It's more like an instant fireball.
Yes.
Okay, so our guest next week, and I am so sorry if I mispronounce her name, but Vida, I think. She has some very interesting games, but there's an obvious method to her madness. There are points to with your games, man. I wonder where the inspiration comes from. Why?
We do have like obvious point systems. The point system is just like marks on your soul.
So you get a mark for every single game like this that we play?
I don't even know, Peter. What do you mean?
I mean, like, it's to take it out of you rather than,
yeah.
rather than having a scoreboard. You are the scoreboard.
Yeah.
How much can you endure?
I'm just sitting here shaking my head.
I actually don't know if I have a sense of humor anymore. I think I used to, but I think it's like just broken permanently. And so I think a lot of this it's not inspiration. It's like, it's not even that I think it's funny. I don't know how to explain it.
It's like you're just throwing wads of meat at a wall, but they're games.
Hey, they're not that bad, okay?
No, don't get me wrong. I mean, you have some very good games. I mean, like I said last time, Jute Bird is, I mean, it's a beautiful looking game. It is well done and all that. But it seems like once you got out of all of those, man, you've just like gone Andy Warhol on your games.
This one's actually purposely smaller than some of the others on purpose, because since this is the first one that I'm collaborating on with someone else, so since Peter told me on this, we chose a small project to sort of get our feet wet as far as working together on a single project, because there's always a lot of work that you don't necessarily see in the finished product as far as coordinating with other people.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason this game is small, and it hopefully is funny. I don't know. But I think that a lot of my style with my games, they obviously look rough. They look amateurish on purpose. That's kind of what I go for. And
don't get me wrong with the stay in your seat. It's obviously in that cartoonish style on purpose. Like the Squidbillies is intentionally has some very poorly drawn characters. That's the artistic style. It's obvious that that's what you're going for.
Yeah,
I don't get what you mean by poorly drawn. Can you elaborate?
You mean my frog people who are sitting in their chairs?
Yes, let me.
Now, I don't know if you can tell this, but the lady frog man is actually the same as the man frog man, but with a different color shirt and with a wig on.
There's not even a wig. She's bald.
Well, I mean, it's like it's kind of a wig.
It's like the frog is just like got. You know how some guys have just like that crescent roll shaped section of hair that goes around the sides and back of their head? She looks like that, but all the hair is long and blonde and just completely bald up top.
I think she's beautiful.
Go ahead. It's your character. I expect you to love your child no matter how hideous it is. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could enlarge this or even just save this GIF. But
here, I can take a real large screenshot.
No, I'm not even posting it up. everyone else. Oh, twitter.com/tartle_games. And it is your pin post. So that's TARTLE_games, or just click the link in the description, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this, and you can actually click on a link in the description. If I don't know at this point. So okay, so you guys are starting on a collaboration. Is there anything big in the works that y'all are gonna be working on later, or is just
we have a number of ideas. Probably for a little while it will be smaller stuff and not mobile based. We want to do smaller games for targeting probably Game Jolt and Steam. We want to work our way up to sort of story-driven RPG type games.
okay?
And if all goes well, maybe eventually moving on to a more ambitious, longer title. That'll take a lot more work. But right now we're really just getting started. So.
Okay.
And with the number of projects I've got going on all at once right now, it's probably, who knows what will come out first. But the next one definitely is going to be the Stay in Your Seat.
Yeah.
So
And
it is
when
actually pretty close to being done.
you have a expected release date for it?
No.
Not really.
It's close. We just don't know how close.
Also, all the sound effects and music are going to be a cappella, I guess you could say.
Oh, my
All
Lord.
of them. Because that's the only thing that will match the art style.
Yeah, true. If I can help with that, please let me know. I want to be part of this strange, deranged game if I can.
That's going to be the most fun, is actually when we get ready to record all of the sound effects.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait for it. I mean, I may sound like I am just completely crapping over, y'all's stuff, your stuff, Tartle, but I do truly love it because it is so absurdly strange that there's nothing else like it that I've experienced yet. It's something that you just have to experience. So,
Thanks.
Peter,
Yes.
how do y'all know each other?
I met Tartle at work. I worked with him at a library.
Yeah, we work in a library.
That's
We're not exactly librarians.
We
work in the tech hub,
yeah.
tech lab, or whatever, technology lab. computer
Okay.
lab.
That's pretty awesome.
And it's actually a really, really busy library, so it's not like a quiet place at all. It's probably the busiest library in Alabama. I'm pretty sure we hold that title now.
Yeah.
Y'all are in Birmingham or where?
It's in Hoover, Alabama. So
It's near Birmingham.
it's a suburb of Birmingham.
Okay. It's one of those little sections of the city that declared its independence and became its own little town, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a bigger one of those.
Yeah. But, so, what?
Yeah, we worked there, and Peter started as recently, and he was like, "Hey, I'm into games." I'm like, "We should make games together." And now Peter is like my Sith apprentice, and I am exerting some level of mind control on him.
I had never made any video games previously. I had made like board games and like role playing game stuff in like college classes, but never anything professionally. And so I figured Tartle would be a good start, like into the video game genre.
Because obviously my stuff is so professional.
Oh no, yeah, it is.
Well, hey, I mean, your RPG tool is actually pretty good, dude, honestly.
Oh yeah, and hey, that's another exciting thing that's going on right now. My that app for the Tartle RPG tool, the one for Dungeons and Dragons, is actually featured on Amazon right now. So I've been getting a lot of downloads because of that, which is really awesome. And I hope that keeps up.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I'm surprised it's still featured. So is it like a week-long feature?
Yeah, I think so, because it got featured once back in December, and I got pretty much doubled my downloads. And so this week it's been featured it again, and I've been getting very strong downloads. So, and I don't know, you know, it's like this. It's kind of a black box on how these things get selected and how it all works.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that it lasts longer than a week, but I really don't know if it will.
That's pretty awesome that you've had one, your main recognition app has been picked twice now. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
If anyone is a listener right now that is into tabletop games, especially like, you know, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, do definitely go check that app out. It is super helpful. It does not have character sheets or character creation, unfortunately, but if you're a DM, it has a lot of good, nice little tools in there for you. So
the idea behind that app is to be able to not only generate content sort of when you have to improvise, but also it has, you know, a dice pool, but also health tracking and just things that are super useful for running the game. And like I actually started the app for myself because there were no apps out there that I could find that I thought were easy enough to use that you could actually use them while playing and they wouldn't interfere with the game. Or the things out there did interfere with the game, so I wanted to make one that didn't.
nice. When did you actually make that? Because it's been out for a while.
I started it almost exactly, actually it probably wasn't exactly, 1 year ago. And I've updated it many times. Like when I first started it, all it was a health tracking screen. And so, I mean, after that, I've added all the other functionality to it. I update it probably about once a month. Basically, every time I finish one project, I'll pick that one back up and add some new content to it. And so, and I definitely have a list of things I'm planning on adding to it again soon, like whenever I get around to working on it again.
Are y'all wanting to add in character creation or character sheets or anything?
I think what I want to add to it next is the ability to, so when you generate the random NPCs, it gives you items and, you know, their class and race and hit points and everything. But you can't save the characters you create. But I actually already have it really set up in the code to make that work. So my next thing is going to finish that out so that you can basically favorite characters if you want to reuse a character. And then also I want to add in a rule option in the settings for using Pathfinder classes and stats for when it generates the characters for their hit points and everything. Because right now the classes are all based on Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Okay. So nice. Most people, you know, they'll make something like that. They'll go with the D20 3.5 system, which is what Pathfinder is based on.
You can pretty much use it for anything right now, anyway. Because there aren't really rules baked into the app. It's mainly just when it tells you what class something is and how many hit points. But as a DM, you can always kind of bend those rules however you want. Yeah.
Why don't you? I mean, Peter, if your experience is making tabletop games and totally you've got a RPG tabletop app, why don't you hook up and make an actual tabletop that works with the app?
Well, that we might. We've talked about that. I've actually done a good bit of work on something like that, and then it kind of has just been sitting on a shelf. So that's a possible thing that could happen in the future.
Hey man, in our little chat group we have on Discord, the us developers, which I think you got an invitation to, dude. We talked about playing, some sort of tabletop game. So if y'all get something y'all want to test, just shoot it to us. We'd love to play.
I mean, I've got some stuff. I mean, I can throw it, y'all, but it's not super refined.
Well, yeah, if you're comfortable with sharing it,
I mean, sure, yeah, I'll throw it out.
Okay.
Are you talking about the
Tales of Whim Pass? Yeah. It's a mouse-based role-playing game where you, rodent-based, sorry.
Important distinction.
Yeah, important distinction, because you can't just play as mice. But, essentially you play small creatures, and basically the things that to us are not really that big of a deal, like, snakes and stuff like that. Yeah, they're scary, but to a mouse or to a rat or something like that, those are dragons, essentially. So.
Yeah, they're megalith